Okay, well, good afternoon. While hansom cabs have been around New York since the late 1800s, next year marks the 100th anniversary of New York City's first metered taxi cab. I know all of you were looking forward to celebrating that. And as one of the highlights of these celebrations, we are unleashing the creative power and civic pride of New Yorkers for what is one of the biggest volunteer efforts that our city has ever seen. It is called Garden in Transit, a project from the National Art Therapy Program, Portraits of Hope, and it's going to involve thousands of adults and children working together to create art that will be displayed on the tops of our world-famous yellow cabs. They say that the best art moves you. Well, this art really will move you. Working with Portraits of Hope, we are going to make sure that every child can take part. For its previous projects, for example, Portraits of Hope has even designed a brush which attaches to a shoe, so that a child with an injured arm or upper body disability is still able to paint. Rest assured, no one will be left out. We're going to make sure that this is available to everybody to the extent we humanly can. Think of this as a great opportunity to give thousands of kids, many of them sick and disabled, the thrill and pride of creating something that will travel the city streets and be seen by millions. We are also going to want as many cab owners as possible to sign up. The cabs will carry the decals from September to December of next year, '07, after which they will easily peel off, and the entire process won't cause any damage to the cab whatsoever. Joining us today in support of our project are taxi drivers. Where are the taxi drivers? Back there. Is there a picture taken? They represent, and they're representatives from three largest taxi associations: the Metropolitan Taxi Cab Board of Trade, the League of Mutual Taxi Owners, and the New York Committee for Taxi Safety. Together, they represent more than half of the 13,000 cabs in the city. Of course, it would be great if every cab gets involved, and we would encourage all cab owners to do so. For the thousands of people who take part, Garden in Transit promises to be a once-in-a-lifetime event, a chance to participate in one of the city's biggest volunteer projects ever. And for the rest, the project will be a fun and creative way to celebrate the taxi's 100th birthday, as one of New York's most enduring symbols is turned into a colorful canvas. Last year, we saw just how powerful a concept this could be when the artists Christo and Jean-Claude transformed another one of our most famous icons, Central Park, with some 7,500 saffron gates. I've no doubt that the Garden in Transit will do the same for yellow that the gates did for saffron. For more information about how kids can join the fun, how adults can volunteer, and how cab owners can participate in this unique project, call 311 or visit www.nyc.gov. As you've heard, there are a number of groups who have worked together to get this mammoth effort off the ground, and I'd like now to give some of them the opportunity to say a few words. It was Portraits of Hope that first approached the city with this idea. For more than 10 years, this great organization has worked to brighten and enrich the lives of children and adults through creative, high-profile art projects around the country. They've redecorated an old oil drill in Los Angeles, repainted an airplane to honor the Wright brothers' first flight, and most recently painted a tugboat at Chelsea Piers. With Garden in Transit, they are bringing their message of compassion, public art, community involvement, and healing to all New Yorkers, and we are so excited to welcome them. So, nice round of applause for the founders, Ed and Bernie Massey.
Good afternoon, I'm Bernie Massey. Ed is to my right. First of all, we're ecstatic about the approval which has come in from the City of New York. We're really looking forward to this project. We've had this idea for some time now, and what is more powerful a symbol for New York City than New York City taxi, and to be able to involve perhaps as many as 50,000 kids in this project. We just completed the Chelsea Piers project just a couple of weeks ago, so we're delighted to be working with children in New York City again. This is an opportunity, as the mayor mentioned, to really volunteer and to mobilize the entire volunteer community service network of New York City, and definitely to pull this one off, we're going to need that. So everything from all the different organizations, nonprofits, schools, hospitals, civic institutions, corporations, they're definitely going to all be getting a phone call from us to participate in. Beginning September of 2007, you're going to see a very different cityscape, and one that is going to be full of color and joy, and something that we hope you'll all have a chance to participate in.
I'd just like to add to what Mayor Bloomberg and my brother Bernie had just mentioned. This is truly going to be a phenomenal event for the whole city, for the 5 boroughs to get together, to collaboratively work on something that has never been done before. Working with the Taxi Limousine Commission, the city, thousands upon thousands of children from after-school programs, schools, and the pediatric care units. Perhaps the first time for many of these children to ever be included in a project of this scale, especially those children who are perhaps in isolation, to keep them involved as well, where we have special brushes designed to put for those children who have no mobility below the neck, for them to be active participants with fruit-flavored wrap. The taxis that you see here were painted by children at Pier 40 from schools and after-school programs. And this will truly be a wonderful event for not only the city, but for the whole world to take pride that this is really kid power, and this is going to show the world how great it is. And I just want to say a couple quick thank yous, of course, to Mayor Bloomberg, Deputy Mayor Harris, Allison Jaffin, Nasli Parvizi, Raina Morgenstein, Deegan Mercado, and of course Anthony Crawwell, who rolled the sleeves up together to help out with the Taxi Limousine Commission, Chairman Doss, Andrew Salkin, who's going to be working with us, the taxi drivers and owners who have been so great to us over the course of the years to help us fulfill some of our dreams about getting this actively engaged and getting the kids involved. The great people at Pillsbury Winthrop who've been with us from New York City for years, from California to our big projects all over, Susan Coleman and Catalina Fornos. And of course, Deborah Martin, who will be up in just a moment, from the Design Trust, Taxi 07, working together in a great and wonderful partnership. Ted Strahl and Alan Kaplan of Team Systems, who was wonderful to donate these vehicles and get them here this morning after the kids painted. The kids, unfortunately, are not here today. They're on summer break, but I'll tell you, they're having a smile cheek to cheek when they see some of these photographs to see how their installation is displayed so beautifully here at City Hall. Michael Levine of Ronart Leasing Company as well. Thank you all very much for the City of New York. We are thrilled and very excited to begin. Thank you.
I want to invite up now one of the superstars of the Chelsea Piers project, which we just completed, and Gabriela Garcia. It's all yours.
Thank you. Good morning. Hi, my name is Gabriela Garcia. I am going to be a freshman next year at Mount Hall High School on 138th Street. I am here today to tell you about my day working on the tugboat project. First thing in the morning, my teacher, Ms. Aguilar, took our class to Chelsea Piers, where the people from Portraits of Hope described all the work they had been doing and what we were going to do. They showed us a video on the different projects they had done in the past. They then gave each of us a small plain tugboat and told us to paint it, thinking about an important issue of today. I chose to paint my boat cheerful colors for the sick children in the world. I felt that sick children needed something to put a smile on their faces now and then. It was fun yet educational. Yes, that is possible, believe it or not. This project was a great experience. I would recommend all schools to participate in these kinds of projects. If I have a chance to participate in the Garden in Transit project, I would be honored, and maybe I can ride around with my own painting over my head. Thank you.